Hello everybody, it's Lazel here with another Magic the Gathering EDH deck tech. Today we are talking about Isshin, 2 Heavens as 1. He's a 3 mana 3/4 legendary creature human samurai, and if a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Read this one carefully as it triggers on every creature's attack, so also your opponent's creature's attacking cause triggers ability of permanents that you control, so those also trigger an additional time. Even though that is very powerful, we are going to play Isshin as a huge token generator deck, so let's go over how we are going to win. We are going to win the game by creating a bunch of tokens and swinging for the win. For example with Delina, Wild Mage, 4 mana 3/2, and whenever she attacks, choose target creature you control. Then roll a d20. From 1 to 14, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of that creature, except it's not legendary and it has exile this creature at the end of combat. From 15 to 20, she says create one of those tokens. Roll again. Myrel, Shield of Argive, 4 mana 3/4, and during your turn your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures or enchantments. Whenever Myrel, Shield of Argive attacks, create X 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens, where X is the number of soldiers you control. Even though we are not in a complete soldier theme, we will still create a bunch of tokens due to the fact that this ability triggers twice. Leonin Warleader, 4 mana 4/4, whenever Leonin Warleader attacks, create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink that are tapped and attacking. Cranko, Tin Street Kingpin, 3 mana 1/2. Whenever Cranko, Tin Street Kingpin attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it, then create a number of 1/1 red goblin creature tokens equal to Cranko's power. Hero of Bladehold does it all for this deck. 4 mana 3/4 with Battlecry, and whenever Hero of Bladehold attacks, create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens that are tapped and attacking. And we are going to finish it all off with Hellrider, 4 mana 3/3 haste, and whenever a creature you control attacks, Hellrider deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. Let's throw in some nice artifact equipments which triggers we can double. Sword of the Animist, 2 mana legendary artifact, equipped creature gets +1/+1. And whenever equipped creature attacks, you may search a library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Anduriel, Narsil Reforged, 2 mana with Ascent, and whenever equipped creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. If you have the City's Blessing, put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control instead. Bitterfall, Nissos Animus, 3 mana living weapon, equipped creature gets +1/+1, and whenever equipped creature attacks, you may search a library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Let's double all of these tokens that we are creating. With Anointed Procession, 4 mana enchantment, if an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many of those tokens instead. Or also with Mondrag, Glory Dominus, 4 mana legendary creature, if 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. For 1 generic and 2 white Phyrexian mana, plus sacrificing 2 other artifacts and or creatures, put an indestructible counter on Mondrag, Glory Dominus. Let's talk about a few more helpful cards. Intangible Virtue, 2 mana enchantment, creature tokens you control get +1/+1 and have Vigilance, which is a great Anthem effect in this deck. Inquisitorial Rosette, 2 mana artifact equipment, and whenever equipped creature attacks, create a 2/2 white Astartes Warrior creature token with Vigilance that's attacking. Then attacking creatures gain menace until end of turn. Anduriel, Flame of the West, 3 mana equipped creature gets +3/+1, and whenever equipped creature attacks, create 2 tapped 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying. If that creature is legendary, instead create 2 of those tokens that are tapped and attacking. Horn of the Mark, 2 mana legendary artifact. Whenever 2 or more creatures you control attack a player, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You can keep swinging for damage while you keep refilling your hand with powerful creatures that will help you to win. Glimmerlens, 2 mana artifact equipment with 4 Mirrodin, and whenever equipped creature and at least 1 other creature attacks, draw a card. Explorer Scope, 1 mana artifact equipment. Whenever equipped creature attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. Let's go over a few very helpful enchantments in this deck. Fervent Charge, 4 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Gleam of Battle, 6 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Revenge of Ravens, 4 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Campaign of Vengeance, 5 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks, defending player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Chivalric Alliance, 2 mana enchantment. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, draw a card. For 2 mana and discarding a card, create a 2/2 white and blue knight creature token with Vigilance. And Rebel Rousing, 5 mana enchantment with Hideaway 5. Whenever you attack with 1 or more creatures, create that many 1/1 green and white citizen creature tokens. Then if you control 10 or more creatures, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. You want to win more? You get it. Mishra, claimed by Gix, 4 mana 3/5, and whenever you attack, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of attacking creatures. This trigger alone is already very powerful. But if Mishra, claimed by Gix, and a creature named Phyrexian Dragon Engine are attacking and you both own and control them, exile them, then melt them together into Mishra, Lost of Phyrexia. It enters the battlefield tapped and attacking. Phyrexian Dragon Engine is a 3 mana 2/2 with Double Strike, and when it enters the battlefield from your graveyard, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards. It also has Unearth for 5 mana. That attack trigger from Mishra, claimed by Gix, is already very powerful with Isshin, but if you can melt Mishra with the Dragon Engine, you will get Mishra, Lost to Phyrexia. It is a 9/9, and when it enters the battlefield or attacks, choose 3. Target opponent discards 2 cards, Mishra deals 3 damage to any target, destroy target artifact or planeswalker. Creatures you control gain Menace and Trample until end of turn. Creatures you don't control get -1/-1 until end of turn, or you create 2 tapped Power Stone tokens. This combo can be an absolute game finisher with style. Alright guys, these were a few cards that I would play in Isshin 2 Heavens as 1. Let me know down in the comments below which cards you would add to the deck, which legendary creature I shall feature next, and then I would say see you in the next one. Goodbye guys.